So like I said, I've got 6 kids, so I'm
Hmm.
just thinking about them right now. But honestly, what kids need today is a Nerf
Hmm.
football and just get outside and like put down the controller and just get outside, get some like neighborhood fun games,
Yeah.
like we'd throw football with everybody and shoot hoops or whatever across the street from where I grew up. Like with every spare minute in our day that we had, we'd just be out there, get the gang together. It's all these little like 10 and 11 year olds and stuff, but just throwing the ball around was big for me. I mean, you could always say Legos or Tinker Toys and stuff, creating stuff. Um, but balls in general, basketball, football,
Hmm.
soccer ball. I played a lot of soccer. Now I've got 3 kids in soccer, so
Nice.
it's fun to kind of see the next generation growing up, and I want to keep them like active and not just like just playing video games. Because sure, you can always do that, but like I think it's so healthy to do something interactive with other people that helps you
Mhm.
work as a team. And nowadays, you can do the same type of thing, even if you're not into sports. Like there's still interactive stuff you can do with people. And now it's like more like robotics, like, putting stuff together as a team and programming it to this little robot to walk across the table or whatever. Like some of my friends have their kids in robotics classes and stuff that their kids, I'm like, he's only 8 years old and he's already programming this. Like, it's amazing. So the
Yeah.
opportunities are super wide, but I still think going back to like just throwing a Nerf football around is a super healthy thing to do. Um, just so people aren't stuck to a screen all day.
Yeah. No, getting out there it's super important. Yeah, I was born in what the 90s. So we were like the first introduction to like, I would say like to making it more normal to like play video games. And but we had that balance between like going outside and playing and um, like video games and stuff. So
Yeah.
I think that was like the primo time, but everybody says their generation's the best. Um, but right now it definitely is a lot of screen time, which is not that healthy. So yeah, no,
yeah, there's
sports are really fun.
there's probably gonna be a generation called the pre-iPad era and the
Yeah.
post-iPad era for kids growing up.
Yeah.
But
Uh, yeah, going
yeah, I was
outside.
the original Nintendo, like that was the big thing for me when I was a little kid. The neighbors always had it. We didn't have any systems. We just had a computer, but yeah, I hope people don't throw away all the good that can be had with just being able to ride your bike and
Yeah.
find other kids riding their bikes and then throw a football around.
Yeah. No, it has to be a regular thing. It's very important. Um, so last question. What's your favorite knife out of like the lineup? Um,
Yeah. I I mean it's definitely the chef knife.
mhm.
But I have 4 different kinds. So there's like the hammered version, the non-hammered version, and then the handles. There's the ebony wood and the G10
Mhm.
handle. Um, I like the look of the ebony wood. It's hard to see on this camera, but like it's so classic and everything. I love the feel of it. Um, but I probably like the hammered finish the best, which
Yeah, I think it looks
is
cool.
yeah, it looks cool, but also those little dimples help work as like little air pockets for food release.
Yeah,
So
if
when
you're
you're
like cutting
cutting
like a
really tall
potato,
foods,
mhm,
hmm so
it
it
like
helps it
releases.
not stick so much.
Yeah.
It's not gonna like be like you will still get some things that stick, but like it helps a lot with tall foods and stuff. So yeah, the chef knife's definitely the king. It's the one I grab. It's the one that I have hanging up right next to like everything that I'm about to cut, pretty much.
Mhm.
And then probably utility knife right after that because for anything off the board. And I even carved like a Thanksgiving dinner with one of our utility knives. It's kind of like a mini chef knife.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It is really.
But some of the other ones that are more like occasion based, like a boning knife or like a 9-inch slicer or something like that, are just used on occasion. But my wife, if you asked her, she probably likes the bread knife the most, which is crazy because I didn't even know if I was going to make a bread knife, but she loves our bread knife and she bakes a ton. So I guess it makes
Okay.
sense for her. But
Yeah.
yeah, so everybody, like I have customers that will be like, oh, I love the Sentoku like way more than any of the other knives that I've ever had.
Mhm.
And I'm like, good, I'm glad you like it. Like everyone's gonna have their own thing, but most of the time it's gonna be the chef knife. That's where I get the most feedback.
Yeah, that's the Santoku is my favorite. It's just always
Oh, is
good.
it?
Yeah, I think it's just like compact enough. You can do everything with it. The sliced meat and vegetables. Uh,
Yeah, you can do a little bit more precise cutting with it, and you
yeah.
don't, if you have a smaller cutting board too, or
Mhm.
small space for cooking or something. But yeah, to everyone their own.
Yeah, no, all of them are good. I love like the chef's knife. But just the Santoku, it makes me happy. But definitely makes a big difference between like having good equipment. Makes it a lot more enjoyable because like there
Yeah,
was this
in most things,
yeah,
cooking included, but in most things,
having the
if
right
you go
gear.
buy a Tesla, all of a sudden you want to commute.
Yeah, yeah. It really makes a difference. And like for example, like my friend, we had like a taco night a couple weeks ago. And then I was trying to cut a tomato and my friend just had the dullest knives and it was just
Yeah,
not fun. It was kind of like cutting a tomato with a butter knife. And I'm like, this is why I have to bring
yeah.
my own knives when I hang out. I just have to bring everything in my backpack when we like cook because it's just the
It's
equipment that
painful.
it's not. It just made it harder. And they're like, why you take it so long? Like, it's because all of your knives and stuff are dull. And it's a pain.
Yeah,
Like,
I've thought about the when I stay in an Airbnb, I've thought about bringing a knife along just to like upgrade their set a little bit
mhm.
and just leave a note like, hey, don't cut yourself, but this is like a nice knife. Take care of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. It's fun. It's fun. I love throwing like pop-up shops for like friends and just inviting people for food. Uh, yeah, but having the right gear for anything really does make a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think I asked all of the questions. Oh, actually, one more fun. Who inspires you, and like what like attribute makes them so admirable?
Um, can I do the easy answer of my parents?
Yeah, no, that's totally fine.
Okay. So for example, my mom, she is just so selfless. I guess that would be the attribute.
Mhm.
She she is she's not looking out for herself as much as her family. Oops, sorry. And so yeah, people. I have a ton though. Like I've got really good neighbors. I've got my family. Got a lot of my religious leaders that I look up to. That I think it's just kind of that outward looking like charity. It's someone who has the ability to look outside of themselves and be like, how am I helping someone else type of thing. That kind of thing is the attribute that I aspire to. I'm not
Mhm.
always there, but that's what I'm striving for.
Hmm. I think those are good. I think we have similar like inspirations. I think it's good. It's good to have like I think just moms are awesome, just in general.
Yeah,
And good having good friends and family. So, huh.
yeah. She's the one that got me to play the cello, so
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
kept on me since I was two.
Do you have like do you have like a Spotify thing where your music is like upload it there, like an artist page, or is it just?
No, and I sorry, I shouldn't say that I don't want to give off the impression that I've got a bunch of recorded music. I don't.
Mhm.
Anything that you've heard me play is going to be under some label of like
Yeah, yeah,
Warner Music or something like that. So I don't. Although I've thought about just putting up some music on my website so that you
yeah.
can like listen to cool cello music while you cook. Just
Oh,
some
that would
free
actually be
downloads
cool.
or something.
That'd be really cool,
So
actually. Like a band, start a band
yeah,
camp or something, and be like, hey, music to cook with. That's
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, something like that. Just because then I could really fuse my loves together,
yeah. Food
like
and
the
cooking.
music and the food.
Yeah, no, that's what I do. I always have a music playing whenever I'm like prepping stuff. Um, when I'm doing food prep, always music. So yeah,
Cool. Yeah,
yeah,
I'll have to work on it.
yeah. No, I'll figure out how to do the Bandcamp thing, and then because all like proceeds go to like the artists. That's why I think it's a better platform, um, and you can like communicate with like your fan base a lot easier. So yeah, Bandcamp. I've definitely listened to like uh, cello and cooking. That's awesome. So
Yeah, I'll play some Bach suites or something like
yeah, no, that's there's a market out there for that. So
that.
yeah,
Cool,
well,
man.
yeah. Any last things you want to share with anybody? Final thoughts?
Um, Not necessarily. I guess I'm available if people need um help with anything. I'd be happy to help. I've been fortunate to have success in what I've been doing, and I'd like to
Mhm,
help other people. I mean, most of what I have is advice, I guess. So it's worth what you'll pay for it. But I
mhm,
think I I like to help other people have hope in doing entrepreneurial type of things because I feel like a lot of us have been conditioned our whole lives to just like, well, I'm just going to do the next step, which is what society tells me to do, which is I'm going to go work for this company and do that. And it's like, well, there is another path. There are other paths. You can go start your own thing. Even if you do go take a job somewhere or whatever, like you can also start something on
mhm,
the side or start something on the inside. You can be, like what I called an entrepreneur, where
mhm,
you're coming up with ideas and not just like going through the motions at your own job, and finding a cooler, better way to do it, more efficient, faster, better, cheaper, whatever. And yeah, the optimism that you have to have, I guess, can kind of come from someone that's, like I said, a mentor or a supportive spouse or your faith or whatever. It's important, I think, to find something that gets you to look on the bright side and be a little bit more optimistic.
mhm. I think that's some good stuff. That's some good advice. And your website is uh, Con
It's
Kitchen.
kankitchen.com, KAN kitchen.com.
Cool, cool. Yeah, let's if everybody is listening, just get your knives from there. They look cool and
Yeah,
they're yeah, awesome.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks again. Thanks again.
Some final thoughts. I just wanted to shout out our Instagram page. We're trying to get the social media uh, vibes going out there, So we're on Twitter at TRBBPOD or you just look up the Rim Break Business Podcast on the search bar. Hopefully something shows up. I don't really know. Don't know much about this SOE or SEO thing. See, I can't even say it right. What's it called? Search engine optimization. But yeah, just search us up on Google or whatever, or Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It's gonna show up. And our what's it called? To Instagram, yeah. TRBBPOD. That is Instagram.com/TRBBPOD or at TRBBPOD. That stands for the Real Right Business Podcast. I gotta post more, but yeah. Cool thing is, I just looked at our Instagram and our Twitter page. So we got 29 followers